Hey Tribe, Sally here. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am. So I am definitely not in Kansas anymore. In fact, right now I'm in upstate New York, very eastern upstate New York. I'll be out of New York, I think tomorrow actually. But in this video, we are leaving Kansas behind after, I don't know, a couple of weeks at least. I think I got into Kansas like on the 25th of July, I think, and this was filmed on August 9th. So a little over 2 weeks, about 2.5 weeks. Had a great time in Kansas. I was kind of surprised at how many different things I found to do and see and so forth. And about all I did really in Nebraska was visit the Homestead National, I think it's historic monument. It'll be one of the first pictures that comes up. So we'll know, before too long. But come along with me. I thought it was really pretty interesting location. It was not super busy, which was nice. There were some beautiful flowers there. And this is not going to be a horrendously long video as like the last one was. So as always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one. Look at this lovely view and these lovely flowers. Right here, pretty flowers, pretty puppy. Just had an interesting conversation with those folks. So where are we now? Oh, we got some more pretty flowers to look at over here. Where are we now? We are not in Kansas anymore. Now we are in Nebraska. And we are at, these are technically not flowers. I think these are thistles, but they're really pretty. Well, so they are flowers. We are at the Homestead National Historic Site. Really pretty pond here. And I haven't even been into the visitor center yet. I'm going to get there in just a moment. But from what I understand, this is the site of the first homestead claim after Lincoln signed it into law. So I thought I'd come see what this is all about. And I wanted to get Kid out walking just a little bit before we got into the visitor center. And they've planted all of these beautiful flowers. And I like how natural it looks. Let's go look at some of these purple flowers real quick. Oh yeah, very pretty. Very pretty. And it is kind of a relief to say I'm not in Kansas anymore. It's funny, I was looking at the map last night and working on my itinerary, and I realized I kind of needed to get moving in order to be able to get to go see my friend, kind of on the schedule I intended, that I'm going to go visit in Fort Wayne next week. So I imagine this is probably the homestead cabin out there beyond this orchard. And I guess I'm going to need to go read the plaque to be sure, but I think that this wall up here shows the percentage of land by state that was attributed to the homesteaders. Or I don't know if it's the percentage that was being made available or the percentage that was claimed. Ah, cool swing. What was it like to be a homesteader? To get an idea, take a walk. The flags around the parking lot enclose an acre. It may not seem huge, but plowing an acre meant walking about 10 miles over uneven soil, driving a team of oxen in sun or rain. Walk that acre, then multiply it by 160, the size of a typical homestead. There seemed to be nothing to see, no fences, no creeks or trees, no hills or fields. There was nothing but land, not a country at all. But the material out of which countries are made. Willa Cather, My Antonia, 1918. Interesting. Homestead National Historic Park. Do you live near a homestead? There's a good chance that you do. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Homestead Act of 1862 offered people 160 acres of free land, if they were willing to live on it, farm it, and build a home. This map shows the 30 homesteading states in which the government gave away 270 million acres. On the wall, each state has a cutout that represents the proportion of homestead land in that state. Can you see where homesteading was most important? Well, not Alaska. This is actually a pretty cool representation. Yeah, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Oklahoma, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, and then it starts petering off again through the rest of the states. Pretty cool, huh? Look at Michigan. You forget about Michigan having so much of the Great Lakes as part of the, well, not actually part of the state, I guess. Near a state, but not part of the state. Now I'm babbling. Okay, but check out Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. Not much there. A little more in these states, but still not all that much. All right, we're going to go see what this is all about. Come up here, Kit. Okay, look at me. Kit, now we're working, okay? Now we're working. Okay. Get yours here. And keep in mind that all of these passes work at the national sites, U.S. Forest Service land, BLM land, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, U.S. Department of the Interior, and Army Corps of Engineers. All right, we're going to go take a look inside. The first prairie homesteaders found a wondrous, unique, and complex ecosystem, rich with promise and possibility and unlike anything they'd ever seen. So we're going to go walk through some of the trails and take a look around. Shortgrass is the light green to the left. Tall grass is the limeish green to the right, and mixed grass is down the center. So looks like Kansas and Nebraska are tall, short, and mixed. So the effort here is to undo the effects of 76 years of farming, restoring agricultural fields to a diverse collection of native plant species. Prairie ecosystems once spanned 140 million acres. Today, less than 1% remains. Restoration and research at Homestead National Monument of America helps us to understand and manage these vanishing environments. And I don't want to say this in any kind of negative way, and I'm going to apologize for any wind noise because my microphone battery died. I guess I need to charge that up today. But to a certain extent, the whole homesteading thing is really another example of a... Leave that. Leave it. No, leave it. No. Kip's trying to eat bird poop. Not the first time I've seen that, actually. Anyway, it's kind of yet another example of how we didn't necessarily behave well to the people that actually owned this land before we came here. Oh, and I didn't get a chance to go to the barbed wire museum. So we're going to follow the walkways and see what we can see. You know, one of the things to think about, so, yes, we treated the native peoples very poorly. And then we ended up in a situation where we're promising people free land, but only if they can prove it up. And that can be a problem. Must have had a sleeping loft, I'm guessing. Palmer built this cabin in 1867 in Logan Township, Nebraska, about 14 miles from, I think they call it Beatrice. Made the brick for the gable ends by hand. Proved up on his homestead claim in 1875. Lived with his wife and 5 children. Built a home, planted crops, lived on the land for 5 years as required by the Homestead Act. In 1880, he added a lean-to kitchen. The family had grown by more than 5 children, by 5 more children. Imagine a family of 12 living in a space the size of today's average room. They lived in this cabin for another 15 years. Prior to 1900, Lawrence and Ida Eppard acquired the farm and lived there for 40 years. Wow. Well, they didn't, they spent most of their time outside working. All of the family spent most of their time outside working. But, yeah, they've got this set up with a small bed. Wonder if we can see. Yeah, kinda. kinda. Not a whole lot going on in there. So this is a restored prairie, but this is what the homesteaders would have found. And Daniel Freeman had a claim that other homesteaders would envy. Legend says that Freeman, a Civil War soldier, found this plot of land while scouting for the Union Army in Nebraska in 1862. He chose land rich with resources, a creek for water, trees for a home, lush grasses for pasture, and good soil for crops. Many homesteaders did not find such wealth on their land. They picked their plot from a map on a wall in a United States land office, making their best guess for a place that would provide enough to make a bountiful new life on the plains. In Montana and much of the West, land was stark, flat, and even more exposed to the elements than here in Nebraska. People really had little to support them while they struggled to survive. Let's spin around in a circle and unwind Kit. So the park film was really very good. And I mean, one of the things to consider is the very fact that this is what they were coming to. And there were all kinds of rules about how you had to prove it up. You know, you had to have a certain amount of your 160 acres producing something. And one of the signs back up by the visitor center said, you know, walk around the perimeter of an acre and you've gone about a mile. And basically plowing that acre, they would have walked about 10 miles. And then they're doing that 160 times. Well, they don't have to do all of it, I guess, but still. And everything done manually. That's something. So we're just taking the opportunity to go for a nice walk. Hope you're enjoying it. What the hell? Oh. So we walked all the way around the prairie and came back up over here next to Freeman's gravesite. And we're about done. But look at Kit. Come on, Kit. Kit saw something run into the grass and him wants it. So very nice visitor center. The point is pointing west, which is kind of symbolizing what was going on with the whole Homesteading Act, which was basically to settle all of the western territories and yeah, as I said, completely disregarding the people that were already living there. But in the grand scheme of things, oh, you could open the door there. I missed that. Oh well. I'm so used to not being able to open the door on stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get moving. I think we're probably going to make a stop at Walmart this afternoon. It's going to wrap up this visit. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you on the next one.